Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Harsh, and today we are going to study the first chapter of 11th chemistry, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. So, without any delay, let's start. Before going on the chapter, we would try to find out the answer of the question that what is chemistry. So if we see the definition, chemistry is the branch of science in which we study about the preparation, properties, structure and reactions of material substances. The definition is self-explanatory that in chemistry we study preparation, that how they are preparing, and properties, including their physical properties and chemical properties, for example their basicity, their acidity, and their luster, density, volume. All these are properties, we will study them in some next slides. And structures, including their chemical structures, and reactions, that how they react with other substances. So this is the structure of diamond, and in this structure carbon atom is shown by a black dot, and the line which this line shows the bond between two carbon atom, and this is a single bond, and each carbon atom is is bonded with four other carbon atoms. So it's a rigid structure, and this is the structure of graphite. It is generally used in the pencils, and it's a layer structure, and in this structure every carbon atom is bound to other three atoms. Okay, you will study in the next chapters. And this is the reactions. In this reaction, if you know that this is CH4, it's called methane, and this is oxygen, and this is carbon dioxide, and two molecules of H2O. So in this slide we see that what is chemistry, and okay, now we move to the next slide. So in this slide we will see what is matter. So according to its definition, matter is anything which has mass and occupies space. जो भी चीज जिसके पास मास है और वो स्पेस ऑक्युपाई करती है, उसको हम मैटर कहते हैं. और फॉर एग्जांपल बुक, पेन, पेंसिल, वाटर, एयर एटसेट्रा आर कंपोज्ड ऑफ मैटर. तो ये सभी मैटर हैं. ओके. So in the previous slide we have seen that what is matter, and the form in which matter exists that is called state of matter. So जिस form में matter exist कर सकता है उसे हम कहते हैं state of matter. So we generally matters की तीन state होती हैं: solids, liquids, gas. And now we will see their properties. So they have solids have a definite shape and a definite volume. तो solids के पास उनका एक definite shape होता है, we cannot change their shape, and a definite volume, उनकी एक volume होती है, एक definite volume होती है, we cannot change their volumes. And their particles are very close together, they are bound very attractive forces, that are cohesive forces. So their cohesive force is very high. So in liquids, liquids have an indefinite shape and a definite volume. They have indefinite shape but they have definite volume, means their volume is definite, and their particles are not very close together, their particles are far apart as compared to solid. So next we move to the gases. Gases have an indefinite shape, they have indefinite shape, their shape is not definite, and they have an indefinite volume. Okay, so particle of gases are very far apart and they move freely. So in this slide we see that what is state of matter. So in this slide we will see some other properties of solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. So as we have already seen the property of shape and volume in previous slide, so we will jump to compressibility. So compressibility means that how much a matter can compress if we apply pressure or force on them. And solids are incompressible, and liquids compressibility is negligible, and gaseous compressibility is very high. If you talk about fluidity, fluidity means that how much a material can flow, and solid doesn't flow. Liquid, they can flow, they flow from a higher level to lower level, but gases can flow in all the directions. If we talk about intermolecular forces, as we know that solid states particles have a very large intermolecular forces, very strong intermolecular forces, but in liquid they have not much stronger forces in comparison to solid, and gases have almost negligible intermolecular forces between them. So now we will see the other properties, that is intermolecular spaces. So solid states particles are closely packed, liquid states particles are not as closely as in solid. Gaseous states particles are very far apart. Rigidity, solid states are highly rigid, liquid states are less rigid as compared to solid, and in gaseous states they are not rigid. Kinetic energy, solid states particles have least kinetic energy because their particles have very large attraction force, so they only vibrate on their positions, and liquid states has higher kinetic energy than solids because they have less attraction force, and gaseous state have maximum kinetic energy because their attraction forces is very negligible. So if you talk about density, solid state has highest density as compared to liquid, and gaseous state has very low density. So we will move to the next slide. So now we will see solid, liquid and gas interconversion. So if we heat the solid, then it converts into liquid. That process is called fusion. And if we further heat the liquid and it convert into gas, that process is called vaporization. And if we compress the gas or apply the freezing effect, then it turns into liquid. That process is called condensation. And if we apply the freezing effect further, then it solidifies. That process is called solidification. And solid into gas conversion or gas into solid conversion is said to be sublimation. There are some substances that directly converts from solid into gas. For example, camphor and dry ice, that is solid CO2, that convert into gas directly. They don't go into liquid state. Okay, so now we will move to the next slide. So now we will see the classifications of matter. So matter is something that occupies space and has its own mass. So matter is classified into two categories. One is pure substance, the second one is mixture. So pure substances are further categorized into two parts, that are elements and compounds, and mixture is also divided into two parts, that is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. We will see them in detail in few slides. So now we will see what is a mixture. So a mixture contains particles of two or more pure substances which may be present in it in any ratio. तो एक मिक्सचर दो या दो से ज़्यादा प्योर सब्सटेंसेस से मिलकर बनता है, and they can be present in any ratio. Okay, and their composition can be variable, and pure substances forming mixture or called its components. So many of the substances present around you are mixtures. So ज़्यादा substances जो हमारे आसपास हम देखते हैं वो ज़्यादातर mixtures होते हैं. और अगर हम इसके एग्जांपल्स की बात करें तो sugar solution in water, air, tea, etc. are all mixtures. Okay, so now we have seen in previous slide that mixture is subdivided into two categories. One is homogeneous mixture and the second one is heterogeneous mixture. So now we will see homogeneous mixture. So in a homogeneous mixture, the components completely mixed with each other. तो homogeneous mixture में जो components मतलब जो pure substances से मिलकर जो mixture बनता है वो mix हो जाते हैं एक दूसरे में बिल्कुल पूरी तरह से. This means particles of the component of mixture are uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of the mixture and composition is uniform throughout. इसको आप एक एग्जांपल के जरिए समझिए, जैसे शुगर सॉल्यूशन एंड एयर। शुगर सॉल्यूशन क्या होता है, जब हम पानी में शुगर को मिलाते हैं, वाटर में शुगर को डालते हैं, तो वो पूरी तरह मिक्स हो जाता है एंड इट्स प्रॉपर्टी इज सेम ऑल थ्रू आउट द मिक्सचर। हम जो शुगर सॉल्यूशन है उसका कोई भी पार्ट उठा के देख लें तो वो उतना ही मीठा होगा जितना कोई दूसरा है। सो दिस इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ होमोजेनियस मिक्सचर। In contrast to this, in a heterogeneous mixture, the composition is not uniform throughout and sometimes different components are visible. तो इसमें यूनिफॉर्म कंपोजिशन नहीं होती, पूरे बल्क में कंपोजिशन यूनिफॉर्म नहीं होती, और जो कंपोनेंट्स जो प्योर सब्सटेंसेस से मिलकर हम मिक्सचर बनाते हैं वो विजिबल भी हो सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल मिक्सचर ऑफ साल्ट एंड शुगर, जैसे हम सॉल्ट एंड शुगर को मिक्स करते हैं तो उनके कंपोनेंट्स विजिबल होते हैं, and grains and pulses along with some dirt, often stone pieces are heterogeneous mixture। तो ये heterogeneous mixture के examples हैं। So you can think of many more examples of mixture which you come across in daily life। It is worthwhile to mention here that the component of a mixture can be separated by using physical method। तो जो components of a mixture होते हैं उनको हम separate कर सकते हैं physical method से, such as simple hand picking, filtration, crystallization, distillation। Okay, so in this slide we see what is a mixture, what is homogeneous mixture, and what is heterogeneous mixture। So now we will move further। So in this slide we will see that what is a pure substance। In the previous slide we have seen that mixtures are made up of pure substances। So now we will see that what is a pure substance। So a substance that has a fixed chemical composition, जिसकी एक fixed chemical composition हो throughout, is called pure substances। अगर हम इनकी एग्जांपल्स की बात करें तो कॉपर, सिल्वर, गोल्ड, वाटर, ग्लूकोज etc. they all are examples of pure substances। So glucose contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Its formula is C6H12O6, and their chemical composition is fixed. Means carbon's atom we take 6, and hydrogen atom we take 12, and oxygen atom we take 6. So we cannot change their composition. So this is mean by fixed chemical composition, and hence like all other pure substances, glucose has a fixed composition। If we change the number of atoms contained, then other pure substance will form, then their properties will also change, the substance will also change, and also its constituents carbon, hydrogen and oxygen cannot be separated by simple physical method। So their components cannot be, pure substances components cannot be changed by, cannot be separated by simple physical methods। Okay,